Hey.
Spark of Madness podcast.
Wow, that was
good.
amazing.
Yeah. Good job.
like
there,
I'm all
fired up
Matt.
now.
Oh, hold
Matt
on.
made that wonderful intro. That's going to be a staple now.
Yeah.
Thank you for that cue.
People listening to the podcast version have been hearing the song, but now there's, for the podcast listeners, you have to go to the YouTube to see the awesome intro.
Exactly.
So you see what we're doing.
I was using free software, and it's
Excellent.
hard to program in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's free. Always.
So we've got another Nostalgia Glasses movie this
By
week
my own choosing.
that we've been teasing all week, but this was Aaron's choice. So Aaron, you got to put on the Nostalgia Glasses.
Hold on, let me... Okay. There we go.
You look like
Ray-Ban.
You look like the one of the bad guys in Back to the Future. You remember him? The guy who
Being
was-
spooked, this ain't no peep show.
Yeah, he wears the 3D glasses. Yeah. Who's gonna play guitar tonight?
Oh, the years of casual racism. Now, what am I doing here?
So Aaron, what movie did you choose for us?
I chose for us the 1981 Disney classic. Well, I say classic, but not everyone would. Dragonslayer.
Mm-hmm. And what? Explain why you chose that movie. Like, what made you want us to see it? Because I'd never seen it before. I know Ben has, but
No. This is
this is the first time you saw it.
This is the first time I
Okay.
ever saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
it's a competent movie that I remember from being young.
Okay.
I think it's a good movie.
Thanks for that insight.
I have more where that came from.
Well, I think we'll get into
Thanks,
sort
Dad.
of, because I can kind of see why it's like a nostalgia movie. So Ben, you saw it for the first time, like yesterday, 2 days ago.
2
2
days
days
ago.
ago.
with you.
Okay.
With
yeah,
you.
so you
we
guys
watched
watched.
it together.
I hold my opinion.
Okay. I've got an interesting story about me trying to watch Dragonslayer.
Lay
So-
it on us.
I'd never seen it before. On Tuesday night, I saw it on YouTube. I guess you could see the whole movie on YouTube, but then I was like, as we were talking about before we started recording, like that version wasn't very good, and so I was like, I'm just gonna rent it. And so I pulled it up on my TV to rent for $3, and I find 1981
God, what a
Dragonslayer. All the names line up. I start watching it, and like 30 minutes in the movie, I'm like, this is awesome. I love this movie. This is really good. I was kind of surprised, and I but the problem was, like, I knew that, what's his name?
Peter McNichol?
Peter McNichol was in it, and he hadn't come in it yet. I was like, what's going on?
He was
like,
in the first 30 minutes.
Well, he was in the real Dragonslayer. Where I'm going is, I watched some other Dragonslayer that was not linked up right in their system, and so it started playing. It was some like Irish movie from, and I looked it up after. It was called The Dawn of Dragonslayer.
What?
And I think it's from 2011, and so I was like, this isn't right, and so I was looking it up, going back and forth.
I think we gotta watch
not
that
the right
next.
movie.
I think we gotta watch that movie.
I actually loved it.
Sounds really damn good.
There's actually a lot of similarities. But
It was a porno.
yeah, it's actually just
Like, wait a
hardcore
minute,
porn.
I don't remember this part.
I didn't think I was into this sort of thing.
Unsheath my sword. Yeah.
Going to the layer.
Lady.
My dragon.
Where you go, no man has gone before.
And then Matt put on the real Dragonslayer, and he's
then-
like, eh.
I was like, ugh. Well, so I started
Then he
watching.
became an alcoholic.
Yeah. By the time I actually started watching the real Dragonslayer, it was like 11:15 at night, and so then I put in the other one, and it was very different. Like it was similar plot wise, but yeah.
There is slaying of
Limp
dragons.
Dick is like, his heart on went down.
He went from straight 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
He's like, yeah, Dragon Slayer.
I had a whole
All right.
Whoa.
I've got a whole list of
This
notes.
is my
Like
second
a great
slay
ass.
tonight. You know, in my setup, it's hard to clip the mics. You just did.
Oh man, sorry. Excuse me.
it was worth it.
Wow.
But I did like it overall. Like I could kind of see
Yeah, I
why.
did
What
too.
did you like? So before we get to Aaron, like, what did you think of it overall?
I
Ben?
thought there was some really good writing in parts. There was some really cool. It's like this is a nice, fantasy movie. There was some good, the dragon was freaking cool looking.
Yes.
But there's parts of like what the hell, like
We'll get in.
yeah, that So I think it was. I think there's some cool parts, but I think it's an okay movie.
Okay, Aaron, did you before the couple days ago? When was the last time you saw it?
2 months ago.
Okay, so does it still hold up?
Oh yeah.
Put them on, please. Put them on.
Now I can explain myself. I don't think it's a perfect movie. There are places where the plot does sort of drag. It could be a little shorter. Some things aren't explained perfectly well, but I get it. That's all that matters. I don't care what you guys think. Man. Look at that face. More
right
than one mother could
right
love
under
that face.
the hairy beard guy.
We don't do tests.
So let's talk. So this movie came out in 1981,
Right
Before I was
after
born.
Empire Strikes Back, but before Return of the Jedi.
and
That'll come in later.
It had the same kind of special effects
Island
people.
did it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they were nominated. They were one of only 2 movies nominated for best special effects for the Oscars. With I think it was
Let him get his blue cards out.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. They lost to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I
Which
can
is
understand
them,
that.
right?
Yeah, it was the same company.
They lost to themselves.
Yeah, they lost to themselves.
Yeah.
But the score also was nominated. Best original music.
I did like the score.
It was
Yeah,
Alex North.
I'm not going to knock the score. I'm surprised to hear that. I didn't know that because it's not like
Did it win?
it's not a bad score.
No, it didn't.
I just think it's
Probably John Wayne.
I don't know. It's just never. It's not the part of the movie that I remember the most.
Yeah, it wasn't like, oh, this is.
It was very fitting though.
Yes.
Yeah, as Ben pointed out, it was very Godzilla-like.
It was. If you listen to the original Godzilla music of the original one.
Yeah, like
Gojira,
the blaring horns.
like the dun dun, like there was when it's the blaring horn, but it's a big trumpet sound.
Yeah, it's
You know,
like
big tuba kind of.
It's like an
sound.
overstuffed trumpet.
It is, and it's a very monster sound to it.
Yeah.
And that's what they use for Godzilla, so it's very similar sound to it.
It was very fitting.
It was sound.
It was sound. It was noise
That it was.
that you hear with your ears.
Good Lord.
Vibrations in your ear canals.
And
So let's start at the beginning. There's a wizard, I guess,
Yes.
named
Good so far.
Marilyn.
Merlin.
Wizard duel?
He's basically Gandalf the whole movie,
Yes,
right?
he is.
He goes from gray, dies, and becomes white at the end. And then like it's very similar. And he's like this all powerful
Yes.
sorcerer or whatever. Like they start on and what
He's
I
not
think
all
is
powerful. Let me point you something out. He said he couldn't turn lead into gold.
that's true.
Yeah.
But it can turn gold into
It's
lead.
worthless.
Yes, the reverse is
Well,
quite hard.
he like had to like
he
set
turned
up
gold to lead in his movies.
the movie sets up with like her name's Valerian, and she's pretending to be a boy at the start, and she's like with this group to come get the wizard to help like bring him all the way back to their town to kill the dragon. That's like they're sacrificing virgin girls to this dragon to keep it at
In the
bay.
lottery.
Yeah,
That
with the lottery,
is
which we'll
correct.
get to. But they're all there to get the wizard to come, and he's like. Peter McNichol, his name's Galen in the movie.
Galen.
Like, he's this little kid with his little fro.
It was the 80s.
He's like,
He's like
help me
very
pre-
Hobbit looking.
Get my presentation for the people, and then he does like a little fire show for
Yeah.
like
There was
the
some really
theatrics.
grounding elements there. You know, it felt like, we have to put on a show.
He's like,
Yep.
some people call me Tim.
like, and it's all fire
Tim the
related too.
Enchanted. You know.
Oh, my.
And they all clap.
Yeah. Oh,
If you do doubt your courage.
Like, look at the bones.
So, but then explain to me though why he. So he agrees to go with him, right? To like stop the dragon and go on
Yes.
this big journey there. But then
Yes.
he's like, you know what? That's kind of a far walk. Fuck it. I'm gonna let this knight that comes just kill me,
Stab me
so
with
that
it.
I can just sort of you carry my ashes all the way there, and then I'll come back.
You
Yeah.
just
Like, I don't
spoiled
wanna-
the entire
it's a long way
plot
to walk.
in 2 seconds.
Yes.
Well, I thought there was gonna be some deeper point, I guess it really was that he just didn't want to travel.
Yeah.
Well, not that he didn't want to. He couldn't.
Why not?
He's a weak old man.
Oh, he's an old guy. Okay.
It was like, it's kind of like, like you said, I thought it was going to be like to push this guy to be the best wizard ever, but
Yeah.
Maybe that's a side product.
but then the
Yeah,
end that
did
there's no
not
more
work.
wizards.
Galen was the
like the end, like there's no more wizards.
Listen, you.
So let's talk about Galen a little bit before we go any further.
Galen.
So he's his like apprentice, right? And then he
Yes.
sort of steps in on the journey as the wizard on like, I'm going to go stop the dragon now.
Yeah.
But like, he has no powers. He just has the amulet. Like, he can't do anything on his own.
He has surrogate powers. And he could do the egg levitation and he had some tricks.
He like causes a accidental rock slide.
But don't wizards need the amulet to do stuff? Like they couldn't.
I think it's implied that
Even the
Ralph
other-
Richardson didn't need it.
Yeah, Gandalf didn't need it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ralph Richardson, well-respected actor.
Ulrich. His name in the movie is
Ulrich.
Ulrich of Kragenmoor.
Yes, Dragon.
But like, I thought it was funny that Galen's like, he just sucks the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't.
But
he
he's
just
brave.
he messes up and
He's brave.
Yeah, I guess. I think he's more arrogant than brave, at least at the start.
At the start.
But then he
fake
like
it till you make it.
then he becomes brave because he's got all this like badass equipment that people give him.
Yeah.
But then he just
there's no fear with him. There should have been like, oh shit, a fucking dragon, I'm a phony. That's. I think they should have went with that, like where it's like, like Mickey and the Beanstalk, or Mickey like the Giant Slayer is like, how am I gonna kill this fucking giant?
overconfident.
You know what I mean? Oh god, I'm in over my head.
Yeah,
You
and they
know.
never really. He's just kind of like,
the things
perfect.
happen to show him that he's in his head, over his head. But in terms of a character, it's like
doesn't reflect
it
it.
doesn't reflect. It's like,
No.
I'm just gonna do what the script says.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I'm not supposed to lose.
Yeah. See,
Well, and, like he's so
I'm top billing.
after he supposedly, and the king that's like wearing pajamas the
Yes.
whole time,
With the music box on his head.
yeah,
Yeah.
this like giant cardboard box.
Yeah.
That's
What a crown. Costume department, you get the Oscar.
My neck.
Get a massage each time.
Yeah.
But Galen basically said when Ulrich comes back at the end, because spoilers, she comes back. He's like, I sucked the whole movie. I'm not strong at all. He basically tells him like, you thought I would be great, but I suck. And that was it. That was the end of it.
He's like, yes.
And he's like, yes, you do suck, and you just have to break the amulet when I tell you to,
Yeah.
and do what I say. And that's
Suck
it.
lower.
We're going from suck to blow.
Suck along.
Suck it long, suck it hard.
So what it there was a cool scene though when they just started their journey where Hodge, the guy we were talking about, Ben was picking his nose earlier.
Hodgepodge.
The other sort of old man with the
servant.
wizard. Yeah.
I'm free.
And they did
Dang
that. They did that floating pack scene in the forest, and then they take his robes off, and then they sucks back on.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. I don't know how they did that.
That was pretty cool.
The clothes coming back on?
I
No.
guess they did it in reverse.
Yeah, they
but
did it in
How
reverse.
did they? I don't know. The way they tore
It's
it off.
strings. Next question.
I have no
Fine.
strings.
The mystery is gone.
You're no fun, Aaron.
I know.
No,
What did you guys think of the whole lottery? Let's talk about that before we even get to the dragon.
Thought it was interesting. I mean, what do you think of it?
Well, so they did so they kind of introduced the stakes of the lottery in that, like, you just think they don't really say there's a lottery yet. They're just like, we're going to show us sacrificing this woman right now. And that was an
That's a
tense
scary scene.
That was awesome.
It was.
And the whole set of the like cave, and that was cool.
I was talking to Aaron about that scene, and you were relating to how scared you were as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh my
Watch
God,
that. And
are
if
you
I was
kidding?
a kid, I'd be frightened.
Yeah.
I was like intense watching it, but like if I was a kid, I'd be like,
And they did enough of like, we're not going to show you the whole monster yet. We're not going to show you the dragon's
That was
face. Like,
expertly
in full
done for
view.
like the first hour.
They show like the tail and the big claws, and then like
A silhouette of the head.
silhouette, and then just you think
Flame.
she's going to get away because she like, you know, she's like pulling her bleeding out of these handcuffs to like rip her hands out.
It's
you
graphic.
think, oh, she's going to get
This is
away.
a Disney movie.
And then all of a sudden, scorched. She's just like gone. That was good. That was a
cool.
good like steak raiser.
Even the sound of the flame, like that one, like you hear it like bellowing of getting the breath of the flame, and then it's like that.
Yeah, they're
one
setting it
little
up
bit
for
of
later so you know
silence.
what to expect.
Yeah, the one little bit of silence of.
Calm before
And
the
then
storm,
boom.
you say.
That was good. And just how terrified all of the people who brought, were here to sacrifice the pageantry of it, and then just like how
And
scared
that's why
they
the
were.
music was effective there. Too,
Yeah.
with the dragon.
Well, in that little crypt, like little cave that he comes out of, like
Yeah.
you can see sort of like his where the danger will come, exactly the spot, and so that was good.
Cool.
It becomes a moment of, okay, when's it gonna happen? Oh, yeah, let me tell you something. I was about 4 or 5 years old the first time I saw this movie. I was not able to sleep very well for a week after that. That scene.
Hey, the
crazy.
first time I saw you, I wasn't able to sleep for a week too. So
I do apologize for that.
sorry.
It is jarring to meet me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. How do you wake up in the morning?
Not by looking in the mirror, I'll tell you that much.
Do you ever brush your teeth? Look at that face.
I don't look in the mirror for certain. I like to keep it from cracking.
That's true.
Ho ho ho.
We digress.
So the reason that she was there was that the king of this realm has set up sort of like a system,
A lottery to keep the dragon at bay.
and he thinks that's the best way, and so like that's why
And everybody thinks that.
that's
too.
why his name's Tyrion, his like knight. Went and killed the wizard.
Yeah, 'cause
like
he
he just like straight up murders a bunch of people like along the way.
He murdered the wizard apprentice.
He
And
just kills everybody because I guess because he thinks
He thinks he's serving the greater interest.
they're coming to stop what's best for the realm. I gotta say, I kind of agree with him.
yeah,
And it plays out that way.
yeah, I do too. But here's a question for you.
Yep.
There's a dragon that lives like a block away from your kingdom and terrorizing your kingdom.
Yep.
And your solution is to, make a lottery, or just live
To
with
like get a Hunger Games random name of a
Why
of
not
a
the
girl
fuck
to
you move your fucking kingdom?
just move.
Move the kingdom.
Castles is expensive, Ben.
It's like, come on, everybody. We're going, come grovel.
Just we're gonna lift it up.
Yeah.
Just move
Yeah.
it a couple miles.
Well, I mean, you leave the castle,
Yeah.
but take the cannolis.
That joke will never get old.
Leave the gun.
I guess that's true. Yeah. He can fly though. Like it's not like he's like
That's
a
true, but like
stationary dragon.
They
like
paint the dragon as somewhat intelligent,
Yeah.
that's true, but you go really far. You go where the wizard lives. like,
Yeah, he seemed to be fine.
It's not exactly the wizard.
I hereby claim this castle in the name
They
of
weren't
me.
traveling that long either.
Yeah, like, it's not much, but hey, there's no
pick up and
fucking
leave.
dragon.
That's a better point.
They had
Yeah.
to take a boat, didn't they?
Get away, wizard.
Well, so
You're the wizard who can save.
I thought it was interesting that they came up. Whoever wrote this movie, I don't know where.
It's good writing.
Like the lottery idea is a pretty interesting idea. Like that's an interesting ethical dilemma to infuse into a movie like
It
this.
is.
Yeah.
But would they use the word lottery back then?
Yes. Cast your lot.
Sure. Yeah. There you go.
Do I need to give you never mind. Let's just move on.
pull the crickets
Accept
out.
it. It presents a wonderful moral quandary because it's really easy to say, hey, if one person dies and everybody lives, that's pretty good, right?
It's what Spock says. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
And it's a perfectly valid moral thing to do. It might not be what we consider ethical, but it's
You didn't
valid.
let me finish my quote.
Go on.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. All right. See, I was egging you for that.
You were waiting.
Yes.
Well, so I've got an uncomfortable question.
Uh-oh.
Really uncomfortable.
8 inches.
So how old?
Is this when you watch the
This is when I watched the Dragonslayer.
The Dragonborn Slayer.
I'm
I'm the Dragonslayer. And you're
Peter
the dragon.
McNichol, the Puss Slayer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slay that puss.
Yeah. My, that cave is cavernous.
So did somebody order a pizza?
Yeah. You have to
Let me make it well done
before you
for
get to
you.
the princess.
But no, so there are kind of three criteria for who is in the lottery. One, it has to be a woman.
Yeah.
It's not no men are being put in the lottery.
No.
Two, she mentions that Valerian mentioned that you had to be of a certain age to then be put into the lottery, right?
Yes.
So you had to grow. But then you also have to be a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
They specifically called that out many times.
Yeah.
So for one, what do you think the age is?
Marriageable
16.
age?
16?
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Now, here's the uncomfortable question. If you are that age and you're of lottery age now, wouldn't you just try not to be a virgin as soon as possible?
You know,
Story of my life.
I actually pointed that out to Aaron when we were watching it.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I have to go in the lottery. But they love each other. Like, just fuck, guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Problem solved.
Just fuck.
Everyone's
Everyone's
like, I've got an idea.
Everyone's sitting in the middle of nowhere in that scene.
Every time he's like,
No one around for
fuck.
miles. Just do it.
I mean,
I
it's
fucked this girl.
I mean, it's uncomfortable
Yeah,
if like
you
the
might get
age
stoned, but you're not get burned by a dragon.
if the lottery age is like 10, then it's like, ooh, all right, this is I mean,
I
what
think
are
my
they
we-
mom's not
implied
watching
it's
this
marriageable
podcast
age.
now.
well, I mean, then it becomes like a real quandary, but like I mean, it seemed like there could be a easy solution if the age was a little bit older.
That's
Like
true.
if you're like a high school age kid.
That's true, but
you
even
know.
if I was 13 and I'm burned by a dragon, like,
At what point is it like just
have me nights.
does it become like a socially acceptable?
Have
Doesn't
at
make
me.
any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then the king's daughter finds out, Elspeth, she
Elspeth.
finds out that the king is rigging the lottery to both exclude her name and he's also taking money from people
Richer
to
people.
like take their kids' names out of it. So it becomes sort of like a
That's where the system breaks down. It's
hierarchy,
only valid if it's fair.
exactly.
It's like
so
socialism.
once it becomes it's not fair, and so they do a whole scene of like the next lottery because Galen's a piece of shit
He is.
and didn't kill the dragon, and so like
Yeah.
everybody was celebrating because they thought,
He made a pretty good effort.
he just destroys the rock area, which comes back, I guess. Like
He
it just-
avalanches the cliffside next to the opening of the cave. It covers it up with rocks. Who's to say that that wouldn't do the job? Come on.
You got to be sure though. How did I mean, you cover it. That doesn't mean you killed him.
Well, if you cover it and there's no other exits, which they clearly say in the movie, it's going to starve it. Come on.
I would be a little more cautious before throwing like this big celebration. And,
Yeah, I keep an eye
you
on
know.
that mountain.
I
Because-
would not have celebrated either.
Because basically Valerian comes out as a girl because she thinks it's safe to come
Right
not
away,
be
yeah.
And
She
so
jumped the gun on that one.
how many people,
Look at
and so then they have then the dragon comes back and destroys and kills 1 million
Yes.
people, and so like everything Galen did was
he made it worse.
he just made it much worse, and then never makes
virgin-
up for it.
Yeah, one virgin could have solved it.
Yeah, and that's what
You gonna
the
volunteer
king's daughter
yourself,
was-
Ben?
And you know what? It's not entirely on his fault. His fault. It's also the wizard's fault too. Saying like, "Hey, dude, I'm gonna turn to ashes. Don't do anything. Just take me to this thing and pour me in this river. You know what I mean? And I'll come back to life. Okay? Don't
Yeah,
fuck it up.
but-
All you gotta do is go to point A, to point B, throw me in the water.
Well, but then Galen wouldn't learn anything if he just knew what to do.
Yeah, but learning for the cause of people dying.
Have you read like the Bible before?
Yes,
Come on, it's all full of that shit.
I know.
This
I'm
was
not saying
actually
it's good.
in this.
I'm not
this
either.
movie is actually a chapter in the Bible. It's called Vermithrax, pejorative, chapter 1.
That's Latin for. I'm gonna give you a little lesson here in Latin. That's Latin for the worm from Thrace that makes things worse or something. I think I looked that up.
Is that
a long
true?
Time ago. Yes.
Okay.
All of their Latin is actually real stuff.
I was gonna make fun of how like grammar-y the name of the evil dragon was. Vermithrax, pejorative.
It means
That's his
something.
name.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the name of the dragon.
I was dozing off at that.
I just
part.
call
I
him
wasn't
the
dozing off.
dragon.
I was like,
They
"It's a
said that in
dragon."
the first 5 minutes of the movie.
They did.
Who's gonna
Yeah.
remember it? Like smog, like one
Yeah.
syllable. People
Well,
will remember that.
and-
This is Vermithrax, pejorative.
Yeah, that's it. Like that.
He has a monocle.
Yeah. Well, I am the Pejorative.
I'm Vermithrax.
Can I tell you what I really
Vermithrax?
Can I tell you one of the elements I really enjoy about this movie? They set up this relationship between the sorcerers and the dragons. They clearly state that if there were no sorcerers, there'd be no dragons.
Right,
so it kind of implies that they're their fault. And they hand over some scales, and Ralph Richardson looks at the scales and he's like, "Oh, I know this dragon," and it sets up a really cool, rich history sort of thing. Like, "Oh, I know this dragon just by looking at its scales. I've seen it before."
That was cool at the start.
Yeah.
He's old.
It basically, though, like made Galen even more useless to me.
Yes.
Because like you basically the only way to get rid of him would have been to get rid of. Because he's not a wizard or a sorcerer.
Yeah, but you know what? But here's the deal: like, you can't just kill the sorcerer. You have to kill the sorcerer as a kamikaze.
Yeah, he's a suicide bomber.
How about throw the damn? Yeah. Was his power?
It's like a trigger.
Yeah.
Like what would have happened if that thing had broken it?
That was kind of badass. So I didn't say that was like.
That's pretty cool.
Fuck.
Put the amulet in a dragon treat and then let it eat it.
That's true. And then you think he's gonna blow out fire? He's gonna poop out fire.
Oh, Buffalo
fire.
Wild Wings, eh?
Just taking a White Castle.
Flaming shits.
Taking a White Castle, he'll love it.
Well,
It's true, LaFou.
Let's talk about the. Well, I guess thought it was.
Let's unpack this.
I thought it was before we get back to the. Yeah, let's unpack
this.
the fire shits, the White Castle fire shits from the Vermithrax.
Yes. The Vermithrax.
Vermithrax pejorative combo
from the Vermithrax. It sounds like some kind of bowel movement. Yeah. You know, some kind of intestine. Oh well, your White Castle went to the Vermithrax.
Are you
he's got a
suffering from
Vermithrax.
Vermithrax pejorative?
That was pretty good. The way you said that. Well, there's an ammonium for that.
All right, what are we unpacking here?
So I guess I thought it was interesting that what's-her-face volunteered as tribute, the king's daughter volunteered as tribute, basically, is like, and swapped out all of, like, how much effort would have taken to write her name on every single lottery ticket in that bowl, but whatever. She basically...
This is out of carpal tunnel. You know, like
just carving,
She was
hand
dead
carving
before she
all that
began the
shit.
ritual.
she probably paid someone to do it.
But that was, I mean, I thought that was a good scene to sort of reveal how corrupt the king was. Because up to that point, you could sort of understand, like
everything up to that point he did made sense.
Yeah, like I can understand you're wanting to protect the realm. Like, this is what's working. I don't want to risk it.
Too.
And like, I'm also want to protect my daughter. Like, you can relate to that.
Yeah.
Like,
but also,
even if it's sort of nepotistic.
But also show like how his own self-interest. Like when he had the amulet, he was trying to make gold from it. You know,
yeah.
Like he didn't care about anything else but him.
They kind of like tweak him a little bit. So she volunteers to be the sacrifice, I guess, just to make it right, to make the system seem fair.
She's moral. She takes the moral high ground.
But two things are wrong. One is it doesn't impact how anyone will view the king going forward. Like,
nope.
So it's ruined. It's ruined.
It's more for,
forever.
It's
how
more
are you?
It's more for her.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But then if it's for her, yeah. So I guess basically like she sacrifices herself. It's more martyrdom than anything. Yeah. It's not like you're not solving a problem though.
Well, she saw an injustice, and it would help her conscience if
she was very
did
good.
Something.
She's probably the really like not just her conscience. She's like, that's not fair. You know.
I mean, have you ever just wanted to right a wrong, even if it didn't benefit anyone? Well, I have. Moving on.
You're a better person, Aaron.
Hey, there's $5 in here. This couch. I'm not gonna tell anybody. Hey, Aaron. Never mind.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, Danny.
So once she volunteers, that's when, because at that point Galen had lost the amulet because he's a failure.
Yeah.
But the king, as he's trying to sneak back and get it, he gets caught again. What does he do right? He did one scene. I guess he he killed
He
Tyrion.
stabbed the dragon too.
But he didn't kill him. He failed.
You know what though?
He did better than anybody
else. Like he
did
stabbed
amazingly well.
With like a magic,
that he enchanted.
With the amulet that wasn't his, that he lost, and wouldn't have been possible if the king's daughter hadn't sacrificed herself. In which case, the king is like, "Oh, I need you to save him or save her now."
Listen here. For clarification, the spear was not enchanted. They took the amulet to make it extra hot so that they could smith it sharper. That's all it did.
So it just made it sharper.
They just made it extremely sharp. Yes.
Okay. But it wouldn't have been possible without the amulet. Even if it didn't infuse it with magic, it was...
That is correct.
Yeah. I just don't feel like anything Galen did, anything that led him to having... Because he didn't make the awesome dragon scale shield that was impervious. That was Valerian figuring that out. He didn't really make the Dragonslayer spear because he lost the amulet, and then it was gifted back to him out of luck because of the sequence of events before him. And then he had a third thing. Those two. He had another thing. I forget. I think he had like some armor or something on.
All of that works together to this point.
Whoa.
Sorry, my throat.
My mama said it's just a phase.
I'm 12.
Sorry,
This is my favorite movie.
We're very sophomoric here.
Listen.
Mama.
The lesson here is that we need all of us to work together, and it's important that you just try.
Yes. The lesson here is like, it's not his fault. It's the damn wizard's fault. Tell him, hey, dude,
The wizard's a trickster.
Yeah, but you know what? The wizard foreseen this happen, so he knew it was going to happen.
Yeah,
anyway.
so he had everything planned
He's
out.
like, everybody's
going to
die. Let him figure it out first. I'm going to be in ashen sleep for a while.
I'm for it.
It'll be ashes.
No matter to me.
So so then we go back to the dragon, and that's where Galen fights before he goes into the pit again. That's where he fights Tyrion and kills him.
Yes.
And I guess Tyrion didn't want him to kill a dragon.
He didn't want him to meddle anymore. He says, like, this, let her sacrifice herself, Yeah,
his motivations were quite realistic.
The same. And like he's like through like a moment of like lapse, he uses his really sharp spear and stabs him through the
stake in the ground.
That's kind of cool.
And then she has an opportunity to run away,
but the
daughter, but she doesn't, and goes into the pit.
And you hear her scream, "Ah!"
Yeah, and that's when we see the Muppet baby dragons, like chewing on like bloody severed limbs and stuff. That was dark.
This is a Disney movie,
and they were like sluggish. Like it was creepy.
They were creepy. Like they're like she dead? She's not dead yet.
Yeah, it was like almost too real.
Yeah,
like, it was gross.
Bone crunching
it was
sound
gross.
Stuff.
Like you see like her like a dead princess getting legs and limbs like cut off, like eaten off.
I mean,
it was very for a Disney PG movie. It was very much like John Carpenter movie.
Yeah,
Like
we already saw boobies in the first 30 minutes of the movie.
We
didn't even talk about that. Yeah, the like really weird blunt nudity.
Well, that was the other Dragonslayer that you watched.
Right. Well, yeah,
it was a different time.
No, yeah, but it was like it was side boob.
Yeah, I would consider that
and
tasteful nudity.
For like you don't know what I would really like to know what age they were. Like they look like little kids.
Well, they don't. They look like they're 18 plus.
Yeah, those are 18 plus.
Well, yeah, to make yourself feel better.
I thought it was tasteful.
He saw like dude ass and girl ass.
Yeah.
So he thought they were tasteful too.
He obscured his dick a little bit.
He was like
when they went to his
forget the sorcerer stuff.
Yeah, they did the Nirvana Nevermind shot.
Yeah. There's like except it's just like the amulet in the water with the fishing line.
And he freaks out.
Trust me, we know. We frame stepped through that entire
It's like, dude,
scene.
be a little subtle. Be a little subtle. Take it in.
Play it cool.
Creep it out a little bit.
She might be receptive, bro.
Don't blow your load.
He gets out of the water, puts like his pack over his crotch.
He's like trying to do a spell to.
Well, like think of his life up to this point.
I've only done the spell in reverse.
He's like living with
the puppies.
I mean,
it's not working.
Hodge, get over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Address Hodge.
Yeah, that's when the ropes go down.
Okay, I better. I better now.
Margaret Thatcher naked on a cold day.
This is making it worse. What's going on?
You're doing it.
I think we're off the rails.
Well, he's lived his whole life with just this old Gandalf wizard.
It's
you know,
true.
you see this girl for the
An
first
old
time
man
naked.
yeah.
It's a test you want.
Well, so back, so
testicle.
we were back in the cave, I guess, with the little dragons, and then he just murders them all.
He straight up
Just
murders them.
stabs them.
He did. He stabs him, and then like the other one just punches to death. Like he just
Yeah, he just
He hits it with the torch.
yeah.
yeah,
And it's like bludgeon to death.
Yeah,
Like, shit.
jeez.
How do we know there was not
around.
more than just those baby dragons?
We don't.
Here's another
Well,
thing.
it gives an interesting, like an added, like not that you needed it with how cool the dragon was, but it gives it sort of an added element of like you feel a little bit of sympathy for it because it has babies.
Yeah, it is. You know what stole? You know what stole that idea? In 1999, Godzilla, the Godzilla
With the
99
babies,
Yeah, with
yeah.
the babies. Like, here's a question though I had with that.
With the babies?
With the babies.
Where's the dad?
Yeah.
Who's the dad dragon?
Who's to
Are,
say
are
she-
dragons asexual?
No. Who's to say that dragons don't just meet up every once in a while and go at it? They don't
the
have to
dragon
live
from
together.
they do like a Tinder swipe.
Yeah, but that was
and
the
then
last
just
dragon,
meet up
right?
somewhere.
It was not implied that it was the last dragon.
Oh,
They just said that
That's
this
the
is a
sequel.
dragon.
Dragonslayer
that's
2.
Dragonheart.
Yes.
Yes, Bowen. She and I were the last. Maybe that's what he's referring to.
Haha.
Ah, there it is.
Ah.
Same
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Draco and because it's supposed to be. Yeah, there you go.
It
Draco was
finally
the other
comes
dragon.
together.
Oh,
See,
another movie.
Not
Not the Vermithrax pejorative.
yeah.
Watch your mouth.
Verm.
I don't get, you know what I mean, Vern?
Verm.
You know what I mean,
You
Vern?
beat me to it.
Yeah.
Burn, 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 burn.
That would have been pretty funny. So
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
the scene that follows was pretty cool though, where he takes Galen
yeah.
takes on the dragon.
Just the thought out of how to take it on was great. It wasn't just like they fight. You know, it was like it was sneaky. It was like
Hops and
there was some good well thought out way of.
and he's
taking
kind of in that big sort of like what's his name? The little guy from Lord of the Rings. Why am I blanking on his name?
Frodo?
Frodo,
No. The creepy,
Bilbo,
No, the
Gollum.
Gollum in the cave with the
Yeah.
water. It's kind of like that.
That's what I said to him. I go,
Yeah.
"Smeagol,
Yeah.
Smeagol."
And then he comes out of the water, and that was pretty cool.
May I say that scene in there where they first introduced the burning lake? That was pretty cool.
Yes.
And then that was when we first get the full I guess
full
we
reveal.
see the dragon sort of flying before
Yeah.
that, but we don't get the full reveal
No,
of
we
it,
don't.
right?
It was
Of his
cool.
face.
It's cool they do it. Like every time they show it, like there's someone in front of the dragon coming up. You know.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And then that's where, and then
you look at it like
the
fuck.
effects of the dragon were insane.
They're really good, except for one thing. Like because it's stop motion.
Most of it.
No, puppets.
No. Most
It was
of it is
puppets?
puppets.
Some, yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was
Hold on.
puppets.
So
See, the
they
full
had
body shots were go motion.
they had a hydraulic 40-foot model,
This is
and then
before Jurassic
16
Park.
dragon puppets,
And one stop motion.
flying, crawling, and fire.
And the stop motion one was pretty big, too.
Yeah, like
It was
crazy.
fluid. It was fluid. It moved
Like when
really-
it was looking, and then it was like gonna dive out to fly. Like that
Yeah.
cut. Like it looks so real to me.
when it went like this, it went like this.
Yeah.
Like that. That was a cool shot.
It just goes to show, like, if you put in the effort, and same thing with like sets and everything, if you put in the effort to like actually go on set, or like, you know, they went into all these castles, these big, and even if you like have to construct something yourself,
But did
like,
not-
they just put in the effort to make it look really good.
Yeah.
like and
don't,
not.
don't you think like as cool as Smog is? I thought this dragon was cooler and
Yeah.
more like just like
I
there's something
agree.
cool about it. Even though the composite, like the blue screen and green screen, I guess it was mostly blue screen then, and the compositing.
It's not
of
perfect.
It's not. If they had our technology now of green screen and keying out things, it would look like Dragon would look much better and match the environment.
I mean,
The
just
dragon itself
Look at
looks
look at our
great.
Yeah.
backgrounds here. We got live keying right now. and
exactly, and it's better than some parts. Like there's always such a halo around
There's
80s stuff.
this music box. Yeah, but like as great, like, and it's mind blowing how good, like for instance, the smog scene in the new Hobbit movies, like, and all of the coins
Yeah.
and gold and stuff. But and I'm sure they like actually had some stuff in the room with them as they were acting.
But you know it's not there.
but like yeah, everybody watching it is like, oh, that's impressive that they did that, but I know that that's not real. Whereas this, it has like an element that they're in the room with a dragon creature.
This like the texture of it alone.
That's why Mad Max, the new Mad Max was so like good. Everybody was raving about it. Like they did enough. Like they still had a lot of computer effects,
had a lot of
but they did enough with the like the cars and stuff to make it.
Yeah, they put the work in.
Yeah.
I'm the advocate of not like poo-pooing CG. I think CG is just as good as any tool.
I agree with
you. Like you said, like the best CG we don't even realize is CG.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's a whole.
That's how it should be.
There's a whole. I forget what channel this is on YouTube, but it's a really good explaining that. But it's just like, you know, if you don't have to use CG, don't use it. You know what I mean? For things. I mean, I don't know. If you can make it look good, make it look good. I think they do too much CGI for movies that
where it doesn't need to be done.
Well, not just doesn't mean to be done, is that it's so much work. They have to spend X amount of time on it to get it out there. They don't have the resources to show it up to make it all polished.
So many times, it's the Jurassic Park example.
That's why Jurassic Park CG is amazing.
Yeah, there's only like
there's like a few
CGI shots,
and that's why it still holds up because that's all they focused on.
Yeah. And then whereas you got Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, 3,000 effect shots, and they all start to like spread thin.
Yeah, you can see the model shots in those a little bit.
And like the same, they do those sort of computer generated characters that all kind of look this. They're just
for
clones.
what they did, it was impressive, but you know,
mixture is good rather than just straight CGI. But if you can do it fine, like Avatar, it's a touchy subject.
To me, it's almost more so like Avatar's a totally different conversation. But to me, it's more like the sets. I think relying too much on just like a giant green room, like for everything.
Yeah.
Like, what's the story of who was it that cried? Like
Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. Like, this is not or like this isn't right. You know?
Yeah. Well, like what's his name? Like, the guy who played the Senate, like the chancellor in the first Star Wars movie, the episode 1.
Yeah,
he was a good actor. He's a great actor, and he was really excited to work with Natalie Portman. And it's like he had scenes with Natalie Portman.
Portman.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm just.
She's
talking
originally from Oregon.
Natalie Portman. I was talking to my buddy from Oregon today. Give me a break. All right. But Natalie Portman, he was excited to work with her and have scenes with her, but they were never like it was all composited, and he was like so disappointed. You know what I mean? Of putting these, they're in the same room talking to each other, but they're not talking to each other. You know?
Yeah.
And he was so mad about that. You know, and it's like there is something about making something real. There's great two imagery shots. It showed George Lucas in 1985 or whenever, 83 or whenever, when Return of the Jedi came out, and they had this whole, Indiana Jones vault of all his stuff from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's all the physical things,
artifacts,
and he's in the middle of it.
Props,
you know what I mean? And it's like, that's so cool.
It's awesome.
Then it shows, this is 1990, or 2000, whatever, when they made the new ones.
1999.
Nothing there.
Yeah, and it's like him in a green screen.
Yeah,
that's it. It's like there is something about that. The physical elements
feels
of
like
a movie that,
like real.
That you can't like. Who cares if it's rubber? It's still real. You know what I mean? There's something about it that, that is gonna be better than trying to animate something, because you're always gonna be in that uncanny valley.
Well, it also goes to like creative problem solving. Like for like back when there wasn't as good as CGI. Like this is our limitation. So how are we going to get around it? Oh, we'll do an angle from here, so we don't need like a full body shot. We'll just show
That's
like
the
this
Superman
area.
flying without showing him fly example of Ben's.
Yeah.
So like in this, they just
Whose
are like,
example was it?
I just said of Ben's.
Oh, thank you.
Someone's listening.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
who are you?
Thank you.
Who's that over there?
Yeah, the Superman flying.
Who's in this room with us?
Make Superman fly without showing him fly. How are you gonna do that? You're like, God damn it.
And so like in this, they show the big, back to what we were talking about, the big battle scene where he's stabbing the dragon. Like they're not going to show this giant creature in every shot. Well, they'll just show like a piece of it and then stab stab that area and show the ramifications. Then we'll go to a different shot.
Very tightly edited.
Yeah,
and it worked.
Yeah.
It almost
good. Those were the best parts of the movie.
It almost works better
than the parts that shouldn't have been so were probably the hardest.
It's the most expensive.
Yeah.
You know, a good example of that is like when they show, like, I love King Kong, and I kind of like Peter Jackson's King Kong, but when they're running around like with those giant CGI dinosaurs, you know, like in that cavern, it's like they're not there.
Nope.
There's something about like showing it all like it's not there. It's like if they would have cut it in a similar fashion or rethink that scene in a different way.
Yeah, if
you know
I may,
it would have been better.
I can present a point here. Here's my perspective. The whole all
That's a good
this
perspective.
Can you Dutch it up a little bit?
Yes.
Can I Dutch it up?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cut
Now-
Ben out completely.
Now it's
I
like,
went to film school.
You know what? You know what this is? This is a tribute to Adam West, like in the old Batman.
Yeah, Adam West.
R.I.P.
Died recently. How sad. Now, it is nice when things can be real, but when you have things that aren't real, it can be done well as well, but it takes extra care.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have lots of examples of movies that are lots of computer graphics, but it's still great.
Yes.
Yes.
It has to do with how you treat it, how you shoot it, all that stuff.
Exactly.
You can't just shoot it and be like, done. You got to plan
Michael
it out.
Bay, you know.
You got to make it feel real.
Exactly. You know, it's all the art of storytelling. It's not that the special effects killed the episode 1 and 2 and 3.
No.
It was like, this is not a good story. Like, the story wasn't as good. And then we would have forgiven the special effects and CGI if it was a better story.
Yeah, we would have just been like, this is great.
And
exactly.
That's partially why, I mean, this movie holds up because it has, and this is my opinion, like, I liked sort of the underlying danger and like there's a dragon, we got to go to get to the dragon, stop it, and you're like, and the way they shot and presented the dragon, and also sort of the conflict for we talked about the lottery. That was all good. I just hated all the characters.
Yeah.
I didn't like any of them.
Yeah.
I guess the Gandalf character was pretty good, but
they weren't pretty.
He was, yeah.
They're pretty boring. Forgettable.
Yeah.
They
It
are.
was-
This movie cost $18 million,
Which is probably a lot for them.
and it made back 14.
Yeah, it didn't do well.
It wasn't a huge success, even though it got 2 Oscar nominations. But I don't know if that had to do with... So I can't tell if the characters were just terrible or the actors weren't very good.
I think
it's a little bit of both.
He's a really good actor.
Yes, he is.
He's in
I guess,
Sophie's Choice.
He's a pretty good actor.
He's a really good actor. I just think it's the characters are poorly written.
Yeah.
Because like they're one-dimensional like fairy tale characters.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
even then, they're even like more wooden than that, though.
Well, the
Galen's character's
wizard's
written to be
boring, too.
relatable. I mean, he's supposed to be your everyman who can't do anything right, just like us.
I know, but like just the dialogue. Like there's
Yeah,
some
the
good dialogue.
There's
but
some bad dialogue. You remember
There's
that
too.
line where she's like, "But I don't care," and that, in fact, she's about to do it right now.
Yeah. Do you love me? Okay,
But
I don't care. I'm still looking at you. Are you?
Bangs.
Bait and switch.
Oh.
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
So as we finish, what did you guys think of the sort of the end, how it ended itself? Because
It was
basically
definitely unexpected to
he
me.
throws the ashes into the lake of fire where they were just fighting, and Gandalf the White comes back. Ulrich the White comes back, and he's like, "I don't have much time. Crush the amulet."
I don't think
but-
they set up very well
And
that
then
the
snippets.
amulet being destroyed will make him explode.
Yeah.
Like, you
But
know
I mean,
when.
That was
You know what?
very
Yeah,
surprising.
They get you up to speed pretty quick on that
yeah,
one.
it is. Oh, well, that's what's gonna happen. Like, and she was like, "No, hit it now."
He
like,
sold. If I was her, I'd be like, "He told you to smash it. Smash it right
yeah,
now. What are you doing?
No, she's no. I was mad at her because.
Are you kidding?"
He's like, you tell me when I know when to do it. I'm not against.
He
smashing
told
it.
me I'd know the time.
All right, this is clearly not the time.
How would he know that it's clearly not the time?
Because you know why? Because the wizard fucking sucks. Because he's just tell
Because
me
the wizard knew.
when the dragon picks me up. Like
that's all he needed. Why wouldn't he
smash
just say
the
that?
amulet.
Do you
this
remember-
is
time.
this is his
So
whole plan.
mysterious. He
I
killed
remember
people.
the line. He says, "You must do it when there's still life in my body."
That's so ambiguous.
Yes, it is. He's a devious wizard guy.
If this is the only chance to stop the dragon, and it's to smash the amulet when he's right next to the dragon and away from people, I would be as explicit as possible rather than "you'll know when to smash it." Just be like, when the dragon picks me
He's
up,
foreseen it.
when I'm literally standing right next to the dragon, that's when you smash it, because I'm going to explode, kid. That's what's going to happen. Maybe you should be a little bit further back too.
It would have been a
because
very
there's,
unintense
you could be
movie.
caught in the blast radius of this
I guess the reason why he wasn't so like you got to do it is dire. He saw it happen.
Yeah,
like, he saw at the beginning.
He knew
saw,
everything would be fine.
Everything's gonna work out. He'll know. He foreseen the future.
He didn't foresee the explosion.
No, the not the little.
I'm pretty sure he sees the entire plot in the beginning when he's looking at that burning stuff.
He's looking at the burning stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that's like he saw the future.
He saw the whole movie going forward.
Yeah, he knew it was
and he
gonna happen.
still was a failure all the way through.
Not him, the wizard.
Oh, the wizard.
The wizard knew all was
Yes.
going to play off anyways, and he said that's why he's so ambiguous. It didn't matter.
He's just having fun.
He's like,
That's what wizards
what's
do.
the point?
So there's no free will for the kid
No.
or anybody going forward because time is set in
Well,
stone.
no, it might not be that there's no free will. He might be a compatibilist. You philosophers out there, help me out on this.
Not
one.
me. Explain.
No.
Well, what a compatibilist does is take a woman who's a virgin and tie her up.
You went
I get to do it again.
No,
Yes.
I'm just doing what the scene's doing.
I see. Okay, you were playing off
You're
of
like,
what was
man,
behind
you're a
you.
creep.
For
You're
the
a
audio
monster.
listeners,
It's like
you're like,
the
whoa.
real dragon's you, Ben. You know,
That's the twist.
you're the monster.
And
We were
M.
on
Night
board
Shyamalan
with the
bursts in, is like,
Vermithrax
I
fart
knew it.
poop jokes, but not anymore.
Oh, get
this
out of
guy
here.
is out of here.
Get out of here. You're it. This is the
crossing the
spark
line.
of madness.
Hey,
minus
listen, I've been
one.
holding this back. Are you boys ready for me to blow your minds?
Yes.
Okay, this is a Disney movie, right?
Whoa.
Yes.
Does it at all remind you of a Disney short involving a sorcerer and an apprentice?
You mean the Sorcerer and the Apprentice?
Yeah.
The Sorcerer's Apprentice?
Yeah.
A little bit, because he fucks it up so bad.
Yeah. And at
And
the end,
makes
you have the
everything worse.
sorcerer,
Sorcerer has-
on the cliff doing the weather stuff.
I
Come
know.
on.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, holy.
It also reminds me of the Reluctant Dragon. Do you remember that one?
Pete's dragon?
No, the Reluctant Dragon.
Was
Pete's
he
Dragon.
shy?
Puff the Magic Dragon?
No, Disney's Reluctant Dragon. Go look it up. We have too much time to
We have too much time? Okay, I'll do it.
strike that reverse. Not enough time, so little to do.
Yeah. That was a great call out.
An
Aaron.
astute
That's pretty good.
observation.
You know what? The special effects when he's on the top of the thing, and all the clouds
That
are
was
changing.
well done.
It was, but you
That
know what
was
it
cool.
reminded me of 100%? It reminded me of the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
When, almost the same like color and everything.
These 15, 10,
Come on,
10 commandments.
Basically the very last moment of the movie though was also kind of crazy. And here's what I wrote in my notes.
God.
Here's what I wrote.
Was there a cringe
Exact
face?
line, and you can see. Did Gandalf become a fucking horse?
Is that what happened?
I don't know.
No,
'Cause I guess he
no.
kind of wished for a white horse, but after seeing him as white and also come back to life, I thought like, oh, he reincarnated after he's like, I wish we didn't have to walk all the way back. I wish we had a white horse, and then a white horse shows up. I thought that was the wizard.
Do you know what I thought that white horse was? Do you remember I got to go back and watch it. I thought it was a white horse that delivered the first virgin that got away. And that was the wandering white
could
horse.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I that's what I thought it
That
was.
Never
could've
thought of
been
that.
I didn't think of I
The
thought
one that was stuck in the mud
yeah,
for a while?
Yeah, it got away after.
I bet you're right. That
Listen,
makes more sense.
I'm going to drop some truth bombs here. That horse appearing was they destroyed the amulet, and it was implied that Ulrich was the last wizard. They did that so that you can be like, oh, I guess magic's not really gone from the world. Oh, it still exists a little bit.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the best review show on the net.
I hope this microphone hasn't been anywhere.
We're ready.
But I had to say the ending though.
Yeah.
I was cringy. It's like this is bumbling dumb ending. Like a
It's a very
Which thing?
80s.
Oh, after the
yeah.
kids
Like,
movie
the very
ending.
ending, like this fucking makes
The
me
movie
mad.
doesn't take itself too seriously. Come on.
Yes.
Good.
They didn't? I thought they took themselves pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
I guess that's true with
Yeah.
the
I mean, there was some funny
ropes and
stuff in there.
Still wearing those glasses.
That we didn't even talk about the sort of
Up, there's a cue.
undercurrent of like religion and stuff going on. Like
Yeah.
there was a lot of like
That was almost a
priests and
needless
stuff.
subplot.
Like
That was like Beowulf. Remember
Yeah.
Beowulf when they remade Beowulf?
Sins
I
of the fathers.
Father. Do you remember Beowulf?
I didn't see it.
I love
it
that
was,
movie.
It was good. It's not bad.
I like it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Beowulf.
Like everybody has this like, oh, God saved us. Oh,
Yes.
you know, and like
I may
it's
not.
almost like they're trying to say like, nope, God had nothing to do with it. It was
the Holy
actually
Handmaid
magic.
of Antioch
And
saved
Saint
us.
Attila.
It was
No.
Magic Pagan.
Would you know? I want to point out a few things where they shot. Speaking of bagpipes, Scotland. I
Wales,
believe when they were on like the water area when they were coming, it's the same area they shot the Force Awakens where Luke is.
Probably,
I believe it's the same
those
area.
little cliffs and stuff.
Well, I think it's the same aisle area.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
But that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The locations were beautiful.
It's good sets. Yeah, or good location. Yeah.
Yes.
They knocked it out of the park on that.
And maybe the dragon's the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
And so when it exploded, it just knocked off the wings and it just fell to the water, and now it's just swimming around.
That's true. Or maybe there's little babies that got out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they evolved with longer necks, and no wings.
And ate fish.
Yeah. And
they somehow transported themselves back 65, 70 million years.
That's what the Loch Ness Monster is those like little turd baby versions, but then it just has like
turd baby
in
floaters.
Everybody just everything that you associate with the Loch Ness Monster is like a weird appendage that serves no purpose. Like it's just sticking out of the water. And underneath they're just like duck battling. Well, I was glad you shared this one, Aaron. I don't think I'd ever would have watched this in my life, or even I've never even heard of it before.
It's
you brought
a gem.
Because there's Peter McNichol's the biggest name, and
Ralph Richardson was a big name too.
No, who
I've
was
never even heard of him before.
What's his name? The Emperor's in it.
Yeah, Ian McDiarmid.
Ian McDiarmid.
Yep. I've never. Who's the director? I don't even know who Matthew Robbins is.
Yeah,
well, he's
far to our generation. He's a nobody.
Yeah. Yes. So it was pretty good.
See what else he directed. Yeah. So overall, what do you think? Do you think it holds up?
I thought it was good. I don't know if I would like tell somebody to go out of their way to watch it. That'd be my perspective.
I mean, if
unless you're like really into like like seeing dragons and stuff, and like this is one of the better dragon appearances.
It had that ILM Star Wars like the.
It's got the polish.
Yeah.
I think even though I love the way the special effects look, because of the bad compositing and how it doesn't match up to the film stock that you're watching, and clearly it's not in the same area, even though it looks cool. If it was in black and white, it looked better.
Yes.
To be honest with you. It doesn't hold up for that reason. Even though the special effects are awesome and I appreciate it, if it was made today with the same method, it would look better, obviously, and it would be amazing. But because of the compositing, then I just don't think it holds up.
So you're saying
I appreciate it, but like little brats.
So you're saying it wouldn't hold up to brats?
No, not at all.
But it holds up to you?
Fake. I mean,
we're worried about what you think.
That compositing's off.
Like a little kid.
That's the question. Does it hold up to you?
It does, because I like movie making, but it doesn't if I'm being objective.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be more forgiving of it than other people.
Well, Aaron clearly is on board because he watched it 2 months ago, and now this.
And like you said, the characters, I'm not. They're not memorable as Luke Skywalker or anything like that. But that dragon is awesome.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job.
And the fire was great.
Yeah.
They did a good job with the fire.
Did really well. Let's see.
Any final thoughts, Aaron?
I think it holds up because when Ben and I were watching it, he was like yelling at the TV and stuff like, "No, don't do that! Oh, that's so cool!" I was like enjoying that.
Well, I was enjoying it. I'm just being objective, man.
Objectiveness be damned. I'm saying you were having a ball, and that's what's
but I'm different than the most viewers. Like.
I get the feeling if you showed a lot of people this movie that at least half of them would think
I think little kids would be scared because I was scared of King Kong as a kid.
It was scary.
I
think it would still scare. I think that would hold up today. Was how like creepy scary some of it was.
But I think this little brat's like fake. Not
every kid's like that.
What kids in your life are
go watch? Let's do a social experiment. Do you think smog is real or do you think this is real? Fake. People are so used to CGI that they can't.
But then they call that fake.
That's true, but it's the same people who are like, oh, I can't watch a black and white movie. It's the same that thing.
Are you seriously attributing that to everyone?
Majority of people who are. That's why Michael Bay exists, because people are dumb. They can't appreciate. No, the majority of people in the world are dumb. I think
they prefer. I think a majority of people don't care as much about real storytelling.
No.
They just like seeing things blow up.
Like seeing things blow up and
Just a cool action
that doesn't
sequence.
look as cool.
All you out
as
there
a
that enjoy
transform-
explosions, don't forget to donate to our Patreon.
Yeah.
Speaking of explosions, train wreck. Huge
So
train.
as we go out, Joe and Mac you guys did Joe and Mac Game Sharks.
Ah, yes.
That came out finale yesterday.
Today.
Today,
yeah.
That's right. I
believe it.
That was pretty. What's next? Do you think?
Well, don't give it away, Ben. I have a teaser.
Okay.
I have a little way to show what it's going to be about, what it's going to be, but not completely give it away.
Does
got
Ben
something
know
to
what it
do-
is before now?
It's got something to do with this. I don't know what this is.
What is
And
that?
you know what this is?
It's a Game Boy Color.
Is it?
Is that thing where you could take pictures and print?
No. But
That
it has
was the
something
thing,
to do
right?
with that.
There's a Game Boy.
I know what a Game Boy.
Oh,
could you remember the thing where you could take like?
They
this
had it
was
for
back
Game
when
Boy.
you
They
could
had it for Game Boy.
Yeah.
take pictures of
Yeah.
your like photo booth.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody had that.
Yeah, me neither.
That was for the rich kids.
I didn't have it myself. I knew somebody who had it.
Smart business model.
Yeah. All right. I think
What?
we're good.
I think we're good too. And Q. Oh, go back. Yes, he's tackling the dragon and he's killing him.
Yeah,
Okay,
can we
you
start
guys
off with a shot?
All
now
right.
we're
Yeah,
good.
the perfect ending for the listeners.
I think we're cutting it off at just the right point so they'll want to watch this movie.
That's true.
Look at this.
Look at this CGI.
Wow.
Wow, that dragon. Tune in next time to see
A
what
dragon.
happens.
A dragon. I swear I saw a dragon.
All right,
All
we're
right,
done.
all right,
We're done.